I was a kid, and I was at the beach. My family was not a beach family. They hated the beach. We never went. I was there really for the first time ever with a friend's family, and I found the place magical for all the reasons a kid finds the beach magical. But it was a bit of a different year. It was 1975, and a movie had come out. And that movie, well, it changed the view of the ocean most of us held. That movie, which is now 50 years old, was Jaws. And the response, yes, it was a focus on the wonder, the terror of sharks. An obsession really seen in our annual celebration of Shark Week. And how did the young author, Peter Benchley, feel about his creation, this story that made his fortune? Well, you know John Sylvan? John Sylvan invented the K-Cup and the Keurig K-Cup machine. It made him, and he hates it. He never thought we all would have one. Yes, he thought it would live in offices, but he is plagued with the nightmare of realizing that now, just 1 year's worth of discarded pods, if you lined them up, would circle the earth more than 10 times. That's how Peter Benchley felt, eventually, about his story. He regretted the destruction it caused his finny friends. The license it gave so many to just kill them. Kill them before they kill us, right? But the truth? Sharks really aren't much interested in us. Frankly, we don't taste right. We're not on the menu. Let's look closer. What animals do get people? Well, this is the top 10 according to the BBC. Lions, hippos, elephants. Well, all these critters get less than 601 of us per year. Then you have crocodiles. Never smile at a crocodile. And scorpions. And fortunately, these are not the scorpions that live in North America. Next, you have assassin bugs. Now, this is because they carry something awful called Chagas disease. But again, the bugs that carry that are from Central and South America. And then you have dogs for a similar reason, rabies. And this occurs mostly in the poorer parts of Africa and Asia. Then you got snakes. And then you got humans. And these are intentionally caused deaths. And finally, number one, at about 750,000 of us, mosquitoes, because of the disease they bring. So sharks don't even crack the top 10. Even cows kill more people than sharks. Cows kill about 22 people per year, sharks less than 10 people per year worldwide, and we all know what this means. Be careful where you swim in Lancaster County. But the big problem is sharks have been cast as villains. Yet sharks are essential to ocean ecosystems. They eat the things that eat the other things. And that maintains a balance in the ocean. Kill too many sharks, and then you get too many medium-sized predators, the ones the sharks would normally eat, and suddenly the population of smaller fish is in decline, and the fishing isn't so good, and the decline of sharks can also result in the existence of too many fish who only eat plants, which means then you don't have enough plants, and the oceans can't hold as much carbon as they used to, and folks, we need the oceans to hold carbon. While we wonder why God let these scary creatures into the room, we absolutely depend on them for keeping the oceans in balance. And the ocean on this planet, that's pretty much everything. So it is a good thing that sharks have been around for hundreds of millions of years and have survived 5 major mass extinction events and have outlived the dinosaurs. Now, sure, some of our fun with sharks is just harmless. But again, when that fun spurs ideas like the only good shark is a dead shark, Houston, we got a problem. The amazing thing about creation is if you look at what seems to be evil, well, you find out pretty quickly that it's not evil. It's essential. Granted, that is hard to do with mosquitoes, but even these dastardly guys, or maybe I should say gals, because it's only the female that bites, play important roles in ecosystems. They're a food source for a lot of animals and contribute to plant pollination. Mosquito larvae are eaten by fish and by amphibians and other insects, even as they tend to have a pretty negative effect on us. I would guess humans have been guilty forever of deciding something in nature is useless or needs to be eliminated, but we are almost always wrong. And our lesson today should be this: the ingenuity of this creation, the wondrous planet God has given us with its ecosystems and weather and tides and currents, should not be messed with most of the time. Yes, we're going to take a toll on it by just existing within it, but we should never assume part of it is simply expendable, because nature tends to be wiser than we are. I remember being a kid learning to hunt, and some of us were taught, if you see a fox, you shoot it. They eat rabbits. A few years ago, I was in line for a hunting and fishing show, and as I stood there, I listened to a guy tell loudly and in great detail how he had gunned down a blue heron that was standing in a stream because he liked to fish in that stream. What we didn't realize is acting stupidly disturbs the balance of places we love and can actually harm the game and the fish. Our simplistic view can end up doing outright harm to the things we love. You know, back in Genesis, God gives humankind an interesting job: to have dominion over the earth. But that also implies that we are to care for creation, like God, who has dominion over us, loves and cares for us. And sometimes Scripture even reminds us of the fact that nature is something we can learn from. The heavens are telling the glory of God, and the firmament proclaims His handiwork. Day to day pours forth speech, and night to night declares knowledge. There is no speech, there are no words, their voice is not heard, yet their voice goes out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. But ask the animals, and they will teach you. The birds of the air, and they will teach you. Ask the plants of the earth, and they will teach you. And the fish of the sea will declare to you. Who among them does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In His hand is the life of every living thing and the breath of every human being. Ever since the creation of the world, God's eternal power and nature, invisible though they are, has been seen and understood through the things God has made. Unfortunately, our world, with its screens and its comforts, allowing most of us to survive without working and living on the land, has made us less and less wise in the ways of nature. And I encourage you to fight that, to make nature part of your life, and if you have them, in the lives of your children and grandchildren. Nature is a wondrous teacher, even able to teach us the ways of God. And remember, as we go through our lives, teach our children, make decisions. What we have been given in this creation, even when we don't understand it, and even when it might trouble or hurt us, is a remarkable life-giving gift. Treat it with care. Seek to learn from it. Protect it, even when it seems scary. For the hand of the Lord is revealed in it, and that hand uses nature to sustain us.